else, and let's get into it. Our story. Well, our story really started in April of 2015 when a man called Dan Doyle phoned me up to try to persuade me to join his organisation and be a distributor of ASEA. I told him straight away over the phone, look, I was too busy and I wouldn't even have time to look at the website. But he persisted and told me about the fact that he had a serious blood disorder, or had, and the doctors had sent him home after he had, because he had a problem with both his chest and his lungs, and the doctor sent him home to organise his affairs. Then his friend Bart Cotter told him about a magic product called ASEA. And after just using it for 3 days, he noticed a lot of different energy in his body and a big improvement. And after 6 months, he had no of this serious blood disorder anywhere in his entire body. So when he told me this, I felt, gee, I can't ignore you. I really better find out more. So I made an appointment for him to visit me at my home on a Sunday, which was about the 15th of April, 2015, I believe. Well, the day before, I happened to fall down the stairs. I seem to have a habit of falling downstairs every now and then, but I fell down the stairs and my right foot swelled up about twice the normal size. It was impossible and excruciating to try and put any weight on it. And my wife took me down to our naturopath friend, Ross Hutchison, to have a look at it. He diagnosed it as having 3 hairline fractures in my foot. He lent me some crutches and told me just to rest. So when Danny came to us on the Sunday, I'm sitting back on the lounge, my foot up on the coffee table, still twice the normal size. Danny came in, introduced himself, and told us that he had 2 products. One was a liquid that when drunk, it would help you from the inside out, and the gel, which when applied topically, would help you from the outside in. And he asked me my permission to put this on my foot, and obviously I agreed, and he did. Now, where the amazing thing happened was that within less than 15 minutes, my foot shrunk back to the normal size. I couldn't believe it. And what's more, I stood up, put weight on it, and there was no pain. I could walk on it like as if nothing ever happened. And I thought to myself, gee, this must be like a very strong Panadol type thing that has masked the pain. But the thing was that wasn't the case because the pain never ever came back and the foot never enlarged again. So I said to Danny straight away, I said, well, this is a miracle. And if the liquid is half as good as the gel, well, it must be great. So we'll go and order ship and put us down for both. You don't need to tell us any more about the products. It's proven itself. And so that's exactly what happened. But then Dan said, well, look, I understand, Geoff, you're a terribly busy man and that you don't want to go into the business side of things, but perhaps you might give me some referrals. So I went to my mobile phone and I gave him 15 names and phone numbers. Now, at that time, I had, for the last 2 years, experienced a very violent and chronic cough. It was so bad that twice I was taken to hospital, once unconscious in an ambulance. I'd been to roughly 15 different medicos, and they all said they had the solution, but none of them did. And so that was the situation when when Dan came to the house. And most of the names I gave him were the phone numbers and names of the medicos that couldn't fix my cough. So Dan left, and I saw him again it was September 15. That's the 4th, 9th, 5 months after he originally saw me at my house. And he came into my office to tell me that we had one of the fastest growing businesses in Australia. And I said, Dan, what are you talking about? I've never even, what are you talking about? He said, it's ASEA. I said, well, but I've never even looked at the website. He said, yeah, but he said, you gave me 15 names, remember? I rang them all and 8 of them agreed to join ASEA over the phone. And some of those have just gone gangbusters. And you have about 120 people in your business right now. And so I said, well, that sounds fantastic. Now, being an accountant, I said, well, what about the money? And so he showed me how to get the money that I had unknowingly earned. It wasn't long after that that through the good nature of Bart Cotter, he arranged for ASEA to subsidise a trip for us to Salt Lake City, Utah. And so we went there in December, and we were very, very impressed with everything we saw. We were impressed with the directors, we were impressed with the factory, we were impressed with the office, we were impressed with the directors that we met there. But what impressed us the most was about the 15 other people that came from different places in the world, just like us, that have also had amazing testimonies and which produced miracles in their lives. So from that, we decided when we'd come back to Australia, we would start promoting the business. What also impressed me was the fact that I found that this product increased your immune system more than any other product I've ever known in my life. And so when we came back, I built a website, not a website, a PowerPoint presentation, and we started showing people. And that was about February when we started doing presentations. And in October, I think it was, that's only, 8 months after that, we became Diamond.
Let me introduce myself. At the age of 22, I graduated from Sophia University in Tokyo with BA and started working for Nissan Motor. And 5 years later, Nissan sent me to Sri Lanka to do business negotiations. And then when I returned, I was written up in Japanese magazine as a businesswoman excelling in the men's world. At the age of 35, I migrated to Australia, got married, had a daughter. I pursued natural health products and was involved in a few different businesses. And in the last one before ASEA, I met Geoff, who was a very good mentor to me, and then later became my husband.
Yeah, I had a secret weapon. I pretended to be Japanese. My story is this. When I aged 22, excuse me, I won an Australian water ski 100k marathon championship. I commenced my accountancy practice at the tender age of 23, which is still running today. And at 29, the city of Penrith chose myself and another person to represent the city to be presented to the British royal family. At the age of 57, I entered a swimathon for charity to raise money for disabled children. And to my utter amazement, I never swam, I hadn't been near a pool for 2 years. I won the darn thing. I swam 20k non-stop and was in the water for 9 hours. Now, therefore, that picture was taken 20 years ago, and I don't know about you, but from my perspective, I think I've hardly aged at all in the last 20 years, and really I put that down to the benefits of ASEA. But more about that later. At the age of 74, I married Akiko, which means that I'm 77 now, and Akiko is 61, just by the way. I know she doesn't mind me telling that, because frankly, we're both quite proud of our age. And I joined ASEA, and at the age of 75, we became Diamonds. We've had a lot of good fortune since joining ASEA, and last year we went on the Ascent excursion, which took us on a cruise for the Bahamas. And then not long after that, as Diamonds, we went on a trip to Panama City. And on the way there, we went via Peru to look at the exotic places like Machu Picchu. And most of the costs of all this were paid by ASEA. So to my way of thinking, it really is a wonderful company that's really looked after us.
The ASEA is the greatest scientific and medical breakthrough of our time. ASEA is the global leader in redox signaling-based health and anti-aging technologies. After 10 years of research, the products were launched into the market in 2010. Significant growth every year, financially strong and profitable. Sales will exceed $100 million this year and will reach over $1 billion within 5 years. ASEA is perfectly positioned ahead of the growth that will come in the next 3 years in health, wellness, and anti-aging industries.
What I love about this company is the integrity of the whole company, which flows from the top down. The founders were Verdis and Tyler Norton, father and son. Verdis was a vice president in Kraft Foods, and Tyler had a financial empire. They decided to buy a struggling biotech company as a business investment. And the idea was to develop the product and then sell to the highest bidder. After rejecting an offer from a major pharmaceutical company who, if they had accepted that, they would have closed them down. Why is that, do you think? Obviously because this company didn't want some product on the market that actually cure people. They made a decision. Knowing that their product could dramatically change the lives of people for the better, excuse me, they chose the network marketing business model for bringing redox signaling technology to the world. Let's recap. What have I just said? They had an offer from a big pharma company for an offer that most people couldn't refuse, or they could arrange to give it to the public through network marketing. They decided to reject the big pharma offer and give it to us, the public. And so I think that we owe a lot to the Nortons for that very altruistic outlook.
Where are they? They are in 30 countries, and more countries will be added in the near future. They are expanding into Asian countries recently, and the most recently added Asian countries are Philippines, Hong Kong, Thailand, Taiwan, and Singapore.
We are in 3 of the world's biggest industries: health and wellness, beauty and anti-aging, and athletic performance. These 3 industries alone produce over $4 trillion every year, with significant growth on top of that. ASEA has some of the most unique and advanced products in each of these industries.
After extensive research, laboratory testing, and millions of dollars, a team of scientists achieved the impossible. They stabilized redox signaling molecules outside of the body in perfect balance as they are found in healthy cells. ASEA's patented 3-step process is: step 1, they use pristine salt water, same as found inside your cells. Step 2, salt water is broken down into free-floating atoms. Step 3, atoms are restructured into stabilized redox signaling molecules. Redox signaling molecules are vital to life and health, naturally produced inside every cell. Detect cell damage so they can be repaired or replaced. Increase the cell production of glutathione, the most powerful antioxidant that protects against cell damage and oxidative stress. Fundamental for the immune system, protecting against harmful bacteria, viruses, and infection.
As we age, our cells produce fewer and fewer of these molecules every year, but their peak is around about when we reach puberty. And of course, after we've got just the right amount of redox signaling molecules compared with our cells at that stage, up until that point of time, children recover from illness a lot quicker than we do because of the work of their redox signaling molecules. Unfortunately, in my opinion, due to the pollutions of the 21st century, our body then starts to deteriorate. And unfortunately, our redox signaling molecules just can't keep up. There's just not enough of them to do the work that's required to protect us from aging and decay. So what's the solution? The solution is to take more redox signaling molecules. And there's a lot of scientific validation from what I'm saying. It's one of the finest growing fields of scientific research, and over 14,000 scientific articles have been published. This is one of the books that we have. Oops, I'm holding it upside down. And as you can see, that's just one book with a huge amount of information in it. And it's not written by a CEO, it's written by a guy called A.S. Naidoo. Apart from that, the last 4 Nobel Prizes in regard to health have been awarded to scientists for their research into redox signaling molecules. An independent company, Turret Laboratories, of which their leader is Dr. Kenneth Ward. You might have heard of things that he's done before. A company that he had a lot to do with is Ancestry DNA, which you see advertised on the TV from time to time. And so that independent laboratory, using double techniques on 60 people, average age 35, conducted a gene study using double-blind placebo techniques. Results showed a 20 to 31% increase in all signalling pathways of every participant. I'll just say that again. The results showed a 20 to 31% increase in the signalling pathways of each and every participant. See, your cells are directed by your genes through 5 major signalling pathways, without which they would not be able to perform their life-sustaining tasks. That may sound a bit complex, but let's look at these 5 major signalling pathways so you'll understand better what I'm saying here. The 5 major signalling pathways are your natural immune system, inflammation reduction, cardiovascular system, digestive system, and hormones. So that means each of these 60 people, each one of these pathways was improved by 20 to 31%. And when you think about it, that's through just taking one product, ASEA.
What are the experts saying? There is Anne-Louise Gittleman, called First Lady of Nutrition. She says, ASEA, in my humble estimation, is the greatest advance in lifestyle medicine, which harnesses the power of your own body to keep you well. Dr. Gary Samuelson, PhD in atomic medical physics. He is the leader in ASEA science team, which achieved the impossible of stabilizing redox signaling molecules. He says, this technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health we have ever seen.
Huffington Post, a very credible newsletter that's sent to the medicos in the world, said in June 2016, there are 5 amazing emerging technologies in science that will shape our lives in the coming years. They were 1, organic electronics, 2, nutrigenomics, 3, synthetic biology, 4, neuromorphic engineering, and 4, redox signaling technology. And what they said was that new technology is emerging and inserts healthy redox signaling molecules into our body, helping to repair and replenish your aging cells. Now, there's only one company in the world that's got patents on redox signaling molecules, and that, of course, is our very own ASEA, the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. Top athletes use ASEA, or many do. And there were thousands for me to choose from, but I chose Breeza Larson and Cody Miller, who won swimming medals in the Rio Games, and Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man. ASEA contains no banned substances and empowers athletes to experience remarkable improvements in endurance, strength, recovery, and mental stamina.
Let's look at the power of redox signaling molecules. You can feel better with ASEA redox supplement with anti-aging effect from the inside out. You can look better with Renew Advanced Skincare with effects of anti-aging from the outside in. ASEA is the only place in the world where you can get these exclusive breakthrough certified products, certified by BioAgilytix, who is the world leader in bioanalysis and study of molecules. It's proven 100% safe, non-toxic, native to the body, gluten-free, cruelty-free, clinically tested, quality assured, no parabens, no artificial colors, no animal-based ingredients, no sulfates, no propylene glycol. Products you can trust.
I'd like to talk about Renew 28, whole body therapy at the cellular level. It's so simple. It's safe, proven, affordable, and effective. And there are only 4 ingredients: water, sodium chloride, and the fillers, sodium magnesium fluorosilicate and monosodium phosphate. And there's the Renew Advanced products. It's the most advanced face and whole body revitalising skincare system available, and the only redox signaling skincare system in the world, because the Renew 28 and Intensive Redox Serum provide redox signaling molecules for the skin. And the cleanser and moisturiser rejuvenates the skin and increases the effect of Renew 28 and the redox serum. Now, this is not just for ladies, this is for men as well. And since that came out, I've been using the cleanser as a it foams up, so I've been using it to shave with, and it works very well. And then when I finish shaving, I then have a shower and put on the Renew 28 and the moisturiser.
I can see that since he started using the cleanser instead of shave gels, his skin looks much more smoother.
Thanks, darling. So, and it's very safe. Exposing the cosmetics cover-up shows that many personal care products are toxic, cause biological mutation, cause reproductive complications, and cause tumours. Renew 28 contains 0 harmful chemicals. See, I might add that I wasn't always this good looking.
Renew 28 was tested by and awarded the coveted 5-star stamp of approval from the Dermatist Research Institute, a respected global company based in Germany. The tests were performed using high-resolution cameras and showed amazing results. Unique patented redox technologies. Independent clinical studies over 4 weeks done by dermatists showed an increase of 16% in skin cell renewal, 23% increase in smoothness, 23% reduction in wrinkles, 20% increase in elasticity, and study by Stevens showed amazing 50% increase in blood flow. That means 50% increase in oxygen supply to the area where you apply Renew 28. So it makes sense when you apply Renew 28 3 times in 5 minutes, soreness or stiffness in that area can reduce or gone. 100% safe and non-toxic.
Let's see some examples of this. Here's a young lady who had a scar on her nose after a fall when she was just 3 years of age. Gonski. A young man that's with a very bad skin disorder. After 28 days, big improvement. This lady's called Rosie. She comes from Austin, Texas, and her naturopath advised her to take Renew 28, and he took a photograph of her. 28 days later, she rang up and said, look, this product's not working. I'd like you to cancel my order. He said, well, come and see me. And he took another photograph, and Rosie decided that she would not give it away. This is another lady who, after just 28 days, you'll notice a big decrease in the wrinkles. This young man had a little bit of a problem with his cheek, and after just 24 hours, you can notice the difference. This man's called Marty, and we've met him. He's over 70 years of age, and he decided he's a veterinary scientist, and he decided he'd put Renew 28 on just on half his face. And this is the result. His wife insists that he sleeps on the other side of the bed so she can wake up to a younger man. Just kidding. I haven't actually met Marty, and he's put it on both sides of his face, and he looks only about 60 years of age. It's amazing. There's another doctor, Dr. Gary Gordon, who's got some skin problems there, which look pretty serious to me, but however, after 28 days, you can see the difference. This lady, after 6 weeks, you can see she's a bit cheeky there, but look at the difference. It's amazing, isn't it? This is a lady with a severe collagen problem, but after just 28 days, that's the result. And this is a lady with the tuck shop lady arms, and this, I find this amazing after 28 days. Looks a lot younger, doesn't she? So in other words, you don't just use Renew 28 as a cosmetic on your face, you can use it in all parts of your body that need it. And here's someone else with a what do you call it?
Stretch mark.
Stretch mark, sorry. Pretty obvious, certainly not my belly button. And after 28 days, it's just about gone.
Is it placebo effect? You might think. But animals can't have placebo effect, can they? These are photos of our friend's cat who had flea infestation, but by applying Renew 28 for 14 days, he healed like this. This is a photo of Geoff. He went overseas recently, 5 weeks ago, and he fell down the stairs again. And he took selfie. 2 days later, he came home, and he looked much, much worse. And I thought, oh my God, this is Phantom of the Opera. But by applying Renew 28 and serum for 28 days, he looks like this on the right-hand side photo.
I decided not to protect my body and my limbs with my face. And the things I go through to prove that Renew 28 works. The enrolment costs. Well, it costs, whoops, just need to show that. It costs $67 for the welcome kit, and show the welcome kit, darling.
I'll open it.
Yes, open it. The welcome kit includes printed and digital brochures, Renew 28 sample tube, see a drink mini bottle, see a website, back office, position in the compensation plan, allows purchase at wholesale price, and gives you access to a coach, Jeannie the coach. What happened there? We've also got, you can also have Renew 28 tubes plus shipping, which will cost you $206, or 4 ASEA bottles plus shipping, which costs you $199. Or you've got many other possibilities, like a personal combo, 4 bottles, 2 tubes and 6 sample tubes, which will cost $301. And other possibilities, you can buy far more if you wish, and obviously the more you buy, the cheaper it is, like any other product. So talk about it, if you want to join and you haven't, talk about it with your sponsors, which package best suits you. Now, when I came back from the States and I realised I'd have to do a PowerPoint presentation, I knew that as an accountant myself, people would expect me to tell them as to how much you can earn. So I didn't really know where I was going with this, so I just started to scribble out some detail on a piece of paper. And I decided to write down 36 months. And then I thought, well, you've got 2 legs in ASEA, and I won't explain that right now. But however, I worked on the weakest leg, and I said that if you started off with 1 person and you increased that by 25% per month, what would the results be? Now, I quite realise that 25% per increase per month is crazy. I don't know any businesses that increase by 25% per month. But for some reason, that's what I decided to write down. And that, if that happened, in the most unlikely event if that happened, at the end of month 36, you'd have 2,459 people in your business. Wildly optimistic, I know, but that's what I scribbled down. Now, if that happened, then what rank would you get in ASEA? Well, I was able to guess that, knowing what the average person buys per month, and I came up with these numbers, or these names. And with these ranks that you can achieve direct to 700, bronze, right up to triple diamond. So that would show you that if this worked, at month 36, you'd have 2,459 people and you would be a triple diamond. Now, ASEA released some numbers some time ago for 2014, and when they only had one product, by the way, which was the liquid, as to what the average person with each of these ranks earned. And so I applied those numbers against the ranks. And you will notice the best is $79,413 that a triple diamond would earn per month. Once again, one would assume that's wildly optimistic. But the point is, by month 16, we were a diamond, way ahead of this schedule, way better than a 25% increase. Now, you might think, wow, Geoff and Akiko are amazing people. They must have introduced thousands of people. And today, by the way, we have close on 3,000 people in our business. But how many people did we introduce when we were diamond? 50 people, and which is, of course, is far more than 1573, far less than 1573 here. But how did that happen? That happened because of the people we introduced. They introduced people, they introduced people, and they introduced people, etc., to get us to the diamond, where the average earning of a diamond is $18,326 per month. So all I can say is wow. So as an accountant that sees 5 people about average per day and look at their businesses, and I've been doing that for over 50 years, I can truly say this is the best business I've ever seen in my entire life.
This presentation has been brought to you by independent ASEA associate and not ASEA the company. The ASEA product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or health condition.
You'll also help with a lot of training. There's a virtual office that you get when you come in, a business coach called Jeannie, and it's so simple to use, very user-friendly, and your own personal website with an online shop. So join the team now and enjoy better health, make money, and have some fun. But we have a few announcements to make.
So this expert in the house webinar recordings are available at this website on which
is www.redaxdiamonds.com. And you can hear, once again, there's a recording of this very message we're giving now, plus past recordings as outlined on the bottom of that page.
And next week, so March 16th in US time and March 17th in Australia and New Zealand, there will be virtual pre-release event of ASEA Via new nutritional supplement. It will be a Zoom webinar, and the details will be coming soon. And for the release of 24th March event, release of ASEA Via core, go to this website,
www.aseaevents.evenbright.com.au,
to buy tickets. So, this is about 24th March ASEA Via core event held at the same time in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne.
So next week, you'll be hearing from Ambassador Triple Diamond Dan Doyle, to which we owe everything to our success in ASEA. And so thank you very much for listening to us. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like to watch it again, or can phone somebody right now and tell them to watch it, in half an hour's time, because we'll be back at 9 o'clock. Thanks very much for listening, and have a lovely night. Bye.
Thank you.
37.